everybody, and welcome to another video of Exiled RC. Today I want to talk about RCing on a budget and do-it-yourself sort of things, mostly to help people who like to do the hobby but struggle to find the funds to do it, or even for people who just like to do things themselves instead of wasting money on expensive items that are said to be specifically RC. Just as an example of something like that, when you hear or see RCers buying a specific brand name and saying it's high quality, there's no saying that it truly is high quality. Not saying it isn't, but it's just, if you can't afford it, you hear people saying you should have it, and if you don't have it, they sort of say you should have bought something more expensive and all this sort of thing. But then you also hear about these people buying these expensive brand name or RC brand name things, such as certain tools, and saying that that they're having issues with them as well. So either way you're looking at it, they've both been defeated, the cheaper way or the more expensive way. There's no real, I'm not saying that buying RC brand is bad or anything like that, because I do where I can, but I just do feel sometimes that certain things are more deserved to be either made by yourself or found in another way. For example, I've bought power supplies to run 12-volt items off of, and I've had them blow up on me, and they've cost a fortune for them, and you ask for help and you don't get it and all this sort of thing. Here in Australia, some of the cheaper power supplies from places like J-Car, which is sort of like a Radio Shack for America, and other places like that, they cost around $100 and more Australian, and they're really cheap sort of ones. Even then, they don't have fans in them or anything. And the RC brand ones you see getting around that are on A-Main Hobbies, buying them here in Australia from a store or even online can cost a few $100, $300–400, some of them. But you see people online on some of the forums, they make their own power supply, especially the aeroplane guys, and the helicopter fellas and stuff like that. The people that do them, they buy their own or build their own items, and I've seen a lot of power supplies built out of computer power supplies. I always wanted to do it, but I thought it's something that might be a bit risky, so it must be technical. But when I had a really good look at it, I realized that it's not. It doesn't look the prettiest, but it'll do. It's just some tin holding that. Here's the two terminals and a switch I put. The switch runs off of these two wires here, which is the sort of the module switch to tell the power supply that there is power running to it and to turn it on. And these two terminals just run straight off the yellow and the black, and the yellow is a 12-volt, and there is a 5-volt I think in here as well, but nothing else is needed, so I pushed it aside. This runs on a fan and it's not dying, so power supplies do go quite often, but they don't go as often as I've noticed as the ones you buy specifically out of the power supply. Things that I like to make myself, if you feel that you need to get something and sometimes there isn't anything out there, or if there is, it's way beyond what you need, or it is because there is not a huge market for it. There's not the things that are there are very highly or very expensive, such as things like this. I've shown this in another video, the air cooler for batteries. Runs off 12-volt, it's just computer fans. I mean, most people who have technology or computers get these, and you can buy them off eBay, the fans that are in here. I bought two of them for $4 off eBay with no shipping, easy done. This keeps my batteries cool. I've never really seen much else out there except for what people have made themselves. And yeah, just another idea of cheap ideas for RCing. I have seen people do buy field boxes. I did have, because I used to do a lot of RC aeroplane flying at my own field box. A proper brand name, it was a Goldberg field box, I think. But before that, when I first started out, I actually just used a toolbox. It was with wheels and everything, and I could hold everything in it. I still have it. I use it as a actual toolbox now. Another thing too is when you see people, RCers, they want to look good, or like they're not making a lot of dodgy stuff as well, so they want to have brand names. They're worried about what other people think of them at the track or whatever, so they've got to have team associated bags or Mugen bags or any of the brand name sort of bags to carry their RC stuff, and a lot of them can't afford it, and they actually go into a lot of debt to get them, because some of the bags, even here in Australia, they're thousands of dollars for some of them, and all they are duffel bags. So another option for you to do is grab a bag like that. It's just a duffel bag. It has wheels, it has pockets on the side, it has everything else that you see a lot of the RC bags have. Basically the only difference with some of the RC bags, especially those real big ones, they have compartments to hold the cards, but you can make your own cardboard boxes, phone, anything. Why waste a lot of money when something like that can cost you $10 from down at a cheap shop or anything like that, when it's exactly the same, it just uses a different brand name. There's no need to waste all your money on something just because basically all they've done is added a label to it. I mean, we feel that we have to try and belong or be a part of something with these brand names, or the other guys have got this brand, I've got to look like I'm good at it to do that. Well, to look good at something, I feel that you have to be good at something, not sit there and whatever you earn. That's not going to make you race better or fly better or anything like that, depending on what label's on your bag. If we feel that we've got to try and look like some of the great racers in the world, like Ryan Cavallari and that, you got to realize that they earn all those stuff. The stuff they have is given to them. They're under sponsorship. They don't pay for it anyway. Yeah. So yeah, there's different ideas for certain things that you should be able to use. Trying to think of something else that I've done to. If you're flying airplanes and you're worried about dinging the wings when you put it in your car, don't go off and buy the wing bags. If you feel that they're really expensive, you feel you have to have them, go down to a postal office or any of the art supply shops or any packaging shop, buy a roll of bubble wrap and some tape, and just cut enough bubble wrap to cover one half of the wing and tape it into like a pillow shape around the wing, so it's like a pocket. Then do the other side of the wing, and then you have a completely protected wing with your bubble wrap, and it does the exact same thing. And you've bought it, you've done this for, you can do as many wings as you want with it until you run out of materials, which some, depending on your plane, you can do up to 20 and 30 wings, which would take a long time to do for most people, for a matter of $3 instead of paying up to a couple $100 for wing bags. If you want to buy a toolbox for your tools or anything, go to the cheap shops, look at tackle boxes for fishing or toolboxes of any of that sort. They're all the same, just maybe not as good a quality. They could break, but if you look after your items, they shouldn't be too much of an issue until you're able to get something else. What else would there be? A radio box. You can again buy sort of tackle boxes or any of that, boxes that don't have trays in them, that you can get foam for. Packing foam you get in boxes from your RC. I keep some of that stuff to be able to use to yeah, to line the boxes for radio boxes. There's also the foam you get when you buy, say, a new receiver. You get foam in the container that holds the receiver. For airplanes, cars, whatever, any electronics or any of that stuff, keep the foam, and you can actually use that as packing foam for your airplane, or the cars don't always use it, but airplane or boats or whatever, for vibration and stuff, because you buy it if you buy it from a local hobby shop, you have to buy a certain amount and it costs a fortune, whereas use the foam, it's packed in, it's already there, it's part of the cost, it's done. Don't know what else it'd be. Well, that might do it. Alright, thanks for watching, and talk to you later.